All right, y'all. We are back. It's your boy G and Alec here. 1600. Thank y'all for tuning back in. The frenzy has passed. The finals are over. All the hoopla about that has passed. The draft has just passed, and we're here to talk about back to reality, talking about what's next for our Lakers, and excited to see where we go from here. Free agency's on its way, and all of that. Looking to what the Lakers can do to maximize. We're calling it LeBron's last dance. It may not be his official last dance, of course, but I really want to take advantage of this last real push we can make, it seems, with LeBron on the squad. So looking forward to that. We'll talk about that a little bit. Look at free agency options, evaluate on how we get in the draft and all of that, and get to it. Excited to be here. Thank you for tuning in as always. Make sure you like, rate, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff for us. A lot of fun stuff is going to be on the way here. And yeah, excited. I'm going to run the intro one time, and we're going to jump into it. Thank y'all for tuning in as always. But first things first, let's give a round of applause first, Alec. We dodged the Chris Paul bullet. He's not Laker.
Yes, sir.
Thank God.
Very happy about that.
Very happy about that. And we can go into free agency with some real moves that we can be made beyond the leadership that could have been added with him that is now going to Golden State instead. So good things there. Excited for what's on the way with our Lakers squad. And yeah, what do you think? Just how I started. What do you think is the best way for the Lakers to maximize LeBron's last dance, as we'll call it jokingly?
Yeah, first things first, I noticed your tagline there with the every second counts. So salute to the bear on that.
Salute to the bear, it's like not.
Absolutely. Elite show. And LeBron, maybe not quite as elite a player as he once was in his heyday, but he's still, yeah, you like that segue, did you? You like that. But he's still a top 10 player in this league, I believe. And we talked about in our finals coverage just how teams could learn from the Nuggets and the Heat as far as building the framework for their teams to be a potential championship team. I think with that, the framework of building around LeBron and AD, we saw that they made the moves at the trade deadline and were able to turn the ship around and get to a Western Conference Finals. Ultimately lose to the champion, but I don't think they should panic in any way. I don't think they have. I think they kept their picks and made the draft selections that they wanted to make. But building around their two stars at the fringes of the roster, not making too many drastic moves that would sacrifice your depth for the third superstar, that kind of thing. If you're able to make a move that slightly upgrades you from D'Angelo Russell to a better point guard, I'm cool with that as well. But just nothing too drastic. Seek to retain the guys that you saw work well alongside LeBron and AD, and go forward with that, because you saw that you have something here potentially with last season.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, we turned the corner and got back in the right direction post trade deadline. Now that we're going the right way, now it's time to kick into high gear a little bit and fix all the small flaws needed to really get this thing rolling. So excited to see what could be done with that. What are your thoughts on the draft picks that we made as we kept our picks in the draft this last week?
Yeah. You and I, who we talked about the tournament when it came around, March Madness. We're not huge college basketball buffs. Sure.
I don't need expert analysis.
Exactly.
Just a quick review.
Exactly, but just looking at the two draft selections, I'm happy with both of them. I thought Jalen Hood-Schifino and the number 17 pick could potentially be a good fit for our needs. A 6'5" guard with good size. I believe he's got a 6'10" wingspan as well. And from his highlights, he looks like he's got good court vision, a good playmaker. I know one of the questions about him scouting wise has just been like a little bit of his decision making, but I think that's something that he can learn and grow with, and no better person to learn under than LeBron there, and even Austin Reaves, who's started to take more control of the offense, especially in the pick and roll. He thrived in Indiana in the pick and roll, especially. So I think it'll be a good spot for him to learn and develop and grow. And I think he already has some tools to be a really good guard. So
real quick with him, and I hate how Lakers Twitter is sometimes. There's like people, the highlights came out and they're like, "Oh, we can let Austin Reaves go." Like, guys,
Wait, people were saying that already?
It's okay to have two good players. Like it's
Right.
everybody breathe for a second. They're like, oh, okay, maybe if Austin Reaves does go, we do have a guy that can step in. It's like, no, we can keep Austin. Austin showed that
it potentially softens the blow if they're not
eligible.
able to pay for Austin Reaves, I guess.
Sure, but I wouldn't be so quick to say he's okay to go. Like I would like to see both of them. And again, it's okay to have two good guys on the squad. It's like we to have just one guy in the role that operates. Having depth, as we saw with the Nuggets squad, is crucial. So yeah, I hope that he can learn under Austin, as Austin has paved a great lane for himself and can carry that mantle there as well alongside him. So yeah, I love to see both of them and do see the same thing that you saw with his vision and all of that. So excited to see how he fits into the squad.
Yeah, absolutely. And then at the 40th pick in round 2, we had Maxwell Lewis. When I first saw his name called, I was like, wait, who is this? Because obviously I was looking at my UCLA guy, Amari Bailey, wanted him to come.
You weren't looking at him, you were looking at the family.
Hey. I like my UCLA boys in LA, man. We must stay focused. Let's not be distracted. But yeah, and then when I Googled his name and saw his highlights, I was like, wait a second. I think Garrett has sent me clips of this dude earlier.
Listen, man, I know ball, man. I don't know what you want me to say.
Okay.
I don't know what you want me to say at this point. Like the facts are there. Like I try to tell you guys.
But I definitely recognize the highlights, and he's got ton of athleticism, very fluid player. I believe he's a 6'7" wing. I think he was a sophomore at Pepperdine. Kind of had a breakout year as a sophomore. They didn't have a whole lot of team success, and there's been questions about that as far as him as a competitor potentially. But I mean, I think as a potential project, like maybe he's not an immediate guy that's playing impact minutes, but a guy that can develop into his own. He was shooting 35% from 3, so hopefully that can translate to the league. That would be great for a Lakers team that could always use more shooting. Every team could use more shooting in a league that's very shooting driven now. So hopefully he can contribute in that way. Happy to have the wing size and length because we needed more of that.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at this pick.
Yeah. I had taken note of him. I'd seen Pepperdine in person a couple times, and he stood out clearly amongst that group. Great size, great build. Can shoot the ball a little bit, and has potential to be a good defender. So with that frame on our squad, which is a good defending squad, he definitely could pick up from what we have there and become a great defender himself. And yeah, I think he could fit in nicely. Maybe not now, as you pointed out, but in the near future, I think he definitely could be a viable piece. So excited to see what comes of that. And yeah, I'm glad that we got him as someone who has, as you pointed out, taken note of him a while ago. To see that he ended up back here, yeah, it definitely was cool to see. So yeah, we'll see what's next for him. But yeah, your final thoughts. You have a grade for the draft of those two?
Oh, that's a good question. Somewhere in the B range, like B plus. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. I guess while we're on the topic, any grade for the dick pic by Toronto?
You cannot. No. You cannot call it the dick pic. Come on, man. I've heard a lot of Grady dick puns, but I missed that one. Did you come up with that one on your own? Oh my god. Now I know what the title of the video is gonna be. The dick pic. Oh man. I think the pick was better than the jacket, man. I could not co-sign the football shoulder pads. The football shoulder pads in the jacket, man. I was
crazy.
I said it was so bad that it was good. I love the confidence to throw this on. And the way he's staring in my soul, I don't love that as much. But I think Grady Dick's gonna be a fun player for Toronto. He was a really good shooter in college. I think he's like a 40% shooter from 3.
Right.
He's kind of an all-around player. And I think he has a lot of tools to be good in the league. So I think it was a good pick for Toronto. I thought a couple of teams ahead of them could have gotten him. So I think it was a good pick for them where they got him. Yeah.
He clearly has a very fun personality. They talked about how he trademarked something. I don't think it was something based on last name. He's something Grady related.
Oh,
he had trademarked and things of that nature and all of that. So hopefully, just seeing that he's gonna have a lot of fun in the league, his grand personality and all of that, and then just in general with him and just guys in the league, just based on how we've seen others already carrying themselves. Just be smart, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna go into detail, but Just be smart. That's all. But yeah, excited to see this new young group of guys entering the league, and excited for what is going to be going on back in LA as we talked about first off with our Laker draft pick. So good stuff here. Moving on though, to get ready for free agency. Where are you looking first for moves that potentially could be made for our Laker squad?
Yeah, I mean, while we did add to the point guard position with Jalen Hood, I'm still interested in if they can upgrade from D'Angelo Russell at the point guard position. I think D'Lo was a solid improvement fit-wise from what we had with Russ pre-trade deadline. But we saw kind of the gaping holes in his game and a little bit of like the inconsistency rearing its ugly head once again in the playoffs, as well as dealing with the injury bug a bit too, like to end the regular season. So if we can upgrade and get a guy like Fred VanVleet, I don't know that Kyrie is going to be truly feasible to attain with Dallas still very much wanting him on their roster. I don't know if that sign and trade is going to work.
Real quick on the topic, you think it's a mistake by Dallas? Because the thought was by them is that, we don't want to make the same mistake we did with Jalen Brunson. But the thing is, Kyrie might not be Jalen Brunson in that he might not be the fit next to Luka like they thought. We already saw when they tried it last year and it fell apart. So is Dallas making a mistake by trying to right the wrong of Brunson by retaining Kyrie?
I'm not mad at it if they bolster their defense, like, because that's truly the issue with that team. Like, offensively, they can score with a lot of these upper echelon teams, but defensively, they were like a turnstile out there with your two best players not being defensive minded guys. Like, it's going to be hard.
Right.
And they traded away Finney-Smith and Bullock to get Kyrie. So they traded away their best perimeter defenders. Yeah, so if they were able to bolster the defense around those two guys, I'm not mad at it, because they did kind of get like a short run at it too. I think it was maybe 20-something games, and then they didn't even play all of them together. Like, they probably played close to half of those together. So I'm not mad at like running it back at least through the trade deadline if Dallas would like to do that with that duo. But they're going to have to upgrade their defense, because it's just not going to work against a team like the Lakers or the Nuggets or the Suns, with like teams that can score at a high clip and defend a little bit. So yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I guess I could. To Kyrie. Yeah, I'm not sure if Dallas is making the right move with that. First off, and then in regards to us, I could see how it could be a fit, but again, it's the same thing that Dallas did. I don't want to have to sacrifice guys in the process. If it means sacrificing Reaves and Rui, I wouldn't make that move. So we'll see how they adjust to that. But again, someone you brought up first off, Fred VanVleet could be a good option here. I'm open to.
He Clutch Mafia.
Clutch Mafia, so he fits right into LeBron's agenda and all of that, as well as just being a good scorer that could be more reliable than we saw D'Lo be in this last playoff run. He's showing his own playoff runs that he very well can step up when called upon.
Championship pedigree.
Definitely some championship pedigree there that we definitely could use. So good things there. There may be some issues on the flip side where the defense is a little bit smaller than D'Angelo and things of that nature. But again, to the same point I made about Max Lewis and the defense that we have on our squad. We have a whole other rest of the squad that can play defense. Guys like that can find their way in and be manageable enough to not be a hindrance to what we have going. So I think it still could work, even if his defense is not technically up to par for us here. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely interested to see that's the real big question there, just how we handle the guard spot. I would like us to keep. Actually, I won't go too far, but yeah, I would like us to handle that with one of those guys at the guard spot. And glad that we don't have to turn to Chris Paul as an option.
Yeah, I hope that's dead. I mean, because I don't know if the Warriors are going to retain him, to be honest. I mean,
they said they were.
Okay.
Who said
that? Dunleavy said that?
Yeah, the Haynes and Shams and all that said that the Warriors fully intend to keep him for this time.
They also said they fully intend to keep Jordan Poole for 4 years. And then they traded him. yeah.
Dunleavy said that, and 3 weeks later shipped him out. Yeah, so nasty work. But right now, it seems like Chris Paul is there to stay. We'll see how that works out. Man, yeah, good luck.
I hope he stays there. I hope he stays there.
Got you.
But
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Just with you bringing up CP3, I feel like there was another comment I had maybe about Van Vliet. I'm spacing now. We can go.
I'll go ahead and jump back. Just beyond the guard spot, where else would you like to see being made?
That's actually what I was going to ask. If there was if you maybe would be interested in bringing in a 5, like a center, so
Absolutely.
that AD can play more of the 4. Also, I mean, like we talked about, needing more bodies to guard Jokic and that kind of thing too. But bringing in another big so that AD can play a little bit more where he's comfortable. I think in closing time, you still are going to want AD at the 5 because that's what makes us the most versatile. But as far as him not having to bang night in, night out with those centers and kind of wear down his body, which we already know is fragile, bringing in some more size on the front line.
The reality is, as you pointed out, I think A's going to be the closing 5 either way. But having some more depth behind him definitely could work. I don't think we can go for a big name. I think we saw success with Dwight before, and Dwight is around and trying to find contracts in Japan or whatever the case is. And JaVale McGee's around. He always shows to be serviceable and still has some legs up in him. So there's guys like that could be around. I would love to grab one of those guys and be open to bringing them back. DeMarcus Cousins is out there jumping 60 and wherever he was last. I think it was Thailand. I think it was. Pardon me if that's wrong. I saw him somewhere dropping 60 on somebody. So he's still around trying to make his name and show that he should be back in the league. And I think there are guys that we could pay for low dollars that can come in and be a missing piece in that regard. So I don't have there could be bigger names that we could go for, but I don't even see a need for that because really it's just the muscle down low that we need, and guys like that show that they're around and want to be back in the league. So I give that another run. So to answer your question in short, I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I think that is the main thing. I guess to ask directly about these two, you for sure want to keep them, correct?
Yeah, I would love to. I know that the price tag could potentially get higher for Austin Reaves. I mean, he's earned a $20 million contract plus. So the price tag could potentially get maybe higher than the Lakers would want to spend. We've seen the downside of not paying the guys that you really value that play next to LeBron well in the past too. So it's going to be a tough decision to weigh. I think I would like to keep Reaves a little bit more, but also the wing depth is important with having a guy like Rui on the team too. I think Rui is going to be more affordable though, so I think regardless they probably will keep Rui. It's just a matter of what the price tag's going to look like for Reaves.
Yeah, I'm for sure keeping them as well in my eyes, and so I see what will be next with them on the squad here. So that's it in regards to the Lakers I can think of right now. Free agency is on the way. I think it's about a week out, and we'll definitely continue to talk about that as things unfold. But for now, I think we're all set in that regard. We'll come back around to talk more about the rest of the league and what's going on from those angles. But for this episode right now, that will be it. So, thank y'all for tuning in as you do. I'm sure there's other questions that we may be slipping our minds. So if you have other questions, be sure to put them in the comments and all of that. Follow us online everywhere. IG, TikTok, Section.300. Twitter, Section Sports as well. A lot of good stuff all across the board there. Always commenting, talking with you guys and having good times, and excited to see where the thing goes next. So that's it for right now. As I said, for this, we'll be back shortly to talk about everything else as I mentioned. And appreciate y'all for tuning back in, man. See y'all in a minute. Peace.
Deuces.